He struck like nobody's business. See if he can continue it today. Not a good start for Eric Forkel. Cuts right through the heart, leaving the 6-7-10.
On lane 11, we're glad to be joined here in the booth by Mika Koivuniemi. Congratulations on the 300 game. How in the world do you regroup now for your next match and overcome the emotion of that 300?
I just try to get my focus back. I got a couple of practice shots in the practice pair and try to find my focus back.
Trying to kick it across the deck. We're joined by Mika Koivuniemi. Mika, here's another look at the last strike you had to get for your 300 game and the big money which you earned. What was going through your mind as you released the ball?
I felt really good. I get in right into the line and how I want it, so I was pretty sure I'm gonna strike. It looks like perfect strike for me.
It sure was.
That it was. Here's Patrick Allen. Speaking of perfect, couple 300 games for him. Here's our Baby Ruth real deal matchup, Randy.
Big difference here is simple. Patrick Allen almost 10 pins a game higher average than Eric Forkel. Again, I talked about what he did in qualifying. The first round, 9 games. The second round, 9 games. He was dominating the field this week. The #1 qualifier.
#1 on the tour in points and an average. He has been blistering the field of late and continues that. So Mika, we watched you last night in the round of 8 in your matchup with Jason Couch where you were just locked into the pocket. Do you have a feeling coming into today that 300 was possible for you?
I didn't think about it, but scoring pace has been really high this week, so it's always a chance to do that, but I didn't expect to do that.
Well, we know your family's watching back home near Ann Arbor. That's a special birthday party going on for your little girl.
I like to say happy birthday, my little girl. She's having a birthday party in the bowling alley right now.
Very exciting for them. Mika, thanks so much for joining us. We're going to let you get yourself mentally focused for your next match against Peter Hernandez. Semifinals, that's coming up. Second show of the year for Eric Forkel. We saw him in Philly where he beat Parker Bowe in the 3rd, but struggled against Danny Wiseman.
An open frame in the first frame, and if you're going to do that, the best place to do it is in frame 1, because if he strikes out, he still has a possibility of 279.
On lane 11, calls himself a classic stylist, somewhere in between the power and finesse player. But he's the first to admit he's an old school type bowler with his approach. And no matter what anyone says on the website, because people have, on chat rooms, you see the single pin numbers, have talked about his sunglasses, he says they're staying on. He's comfortable on TV with the glasses, so leave him alone.
We bowled pretty good a couple weeks ago on the show. Right now struggling on the left lane early. PA looks like he's dialed in. PA, by the way, we saw those numbers. The round is 64, which is the second 9 games of qualifying. He started with 300 and ended with 300.
Bidding for his 3rd sometime today. Looks for the turkey ball to begin this match. Has 3 in a row. He's lost in the wild card, but next week he returns to Uncasville, Connecticut. Last year, that's where Jason won his 3rd straight Tournament of Champions title. The Dexter Tournament of Champions is coming your way next Sunday, 1 o'clock Eastern, as Couch goes for 4 in a row. Here we're at Windsor Locks, Connecticut. Cambridge Credit Classic, just outside Hartford. In fact, literally seconds away from Bradley International Airport. We're right off one of the runways. Not far. Live coverage continuing the PGA Tour. Look out. 8-pin wiggles and stays up for PA.
Talked about it before. The one thing that the players had to control is carry. And when you're going high flush like that, with that much friction, that much drive, that much power on a bowling ball goes right by the 8-pin. Patrick Allen still with a commanding lead. If he converts here, he'll lead by 30.
Tries to stay perfect. Single pin conversions. He'll do that. He's been dialed in without question. Pretty amazing story with his chickenpox, where he didn't feel well after winning in Philadelphia. Eric Forkel was on that show. Now down 30 pins is Forkel. To get this far, that's what has happened to Eric. 12-6 match play record over a 237 average. Last night to us, really defending the thought process bowling fans have about lefties. In the pocket there. Randy, would you agree that sometimes there's a certain stigma attached to lefties?
Well, I think there is, and I think it's a lot of it's unfair. You know, for years out here on the tour, if the lefties bowled well, it was because the lanes were easy, and if they bowled bad, it's because they weren't any good. And unfortunately, I don't think it's as bad as it used to be. And I think that if anybody that's watching the tour knows anything about bowling, you can just watch these guys and tell, you know, and make the decision yourself. These guys obviously are great, great players. And I think that all that other nonsense needs to go away.
Solid 7 there for Forkel. Born and raised in Southern California and now lives in Las Vegas. Look at the southpaw supremacy we've had.
But see, here's the deal, though. This week, the lanes were the same, both left and right. But there's more right-handers, so the right side of the lane is going to break down faster. The righties are going to have to make some more. They're going to have to make moves, more drastic moves. Whereas on the left side, they can pretty much stay in the same zone. If that being the case, what do you think is going to happen on the left side? The lefties are going to dominate. They're going to run you over. It's just simple. I mean, the right side of the lane breaks down faster than the left.
Who's adjusting well amongst the 4 lefties? Little chance for Couch after being just crushed by Mika, but PA is in the zone.
Yes, he is. But now here we have the exact opposite of what I was just talking about. 4 left-handers, 1 right-hander. The lefties are going to experience a lot more breakdown than Mika is.
Hoping for help across the deck for the 7. It stays up. Finish up his chickenpox story. Didn't feel well. Thinks he might have contracted it in the Pro-Am in Philadelphia. And then things got worse for him the next week at Albany. Thought he maybe had some hives, some kind of rash. Went to the doctor, who asked him promptly, "Have you ever had chickenpox, Patrick?" He said no. Doctor said, "You do now."
Yeah.
Quarantined. He stayed with his sister Sheila in Peekskill, New York. It's upstate, not far from Patrick's hometown of Terrytown in Westchester County. And Sheila is here on the right, along with PA's family. Sheila never had chickenpox either, so Patrick was concerned she would get it. He was locked in the room, basically, as Patrick's dad and stepmom watch closely as well.
Yeah, if you go to the doctor and you have all these little red spots on your face and the doctor says it's not a real bad case of acne, probably not a good thing.
Can be dangerous to get it that late in life. He's 33 years old. Came through it just fine.